So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines, and we are going to review now round 3 coming up. Gentlemen, are you well tonight?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Round 3.
You are so grumpy today. What is
I'm ready. I'm ready for this round.
Why?
Because I can pick my team with confidence, but we'll get to that.
Really? St George won last week.
Confidence. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. On Thursday night, we have a grand final rematch, which is the Penrith Panthers against the Melbourne Storm.
All right.
Cleary.
No, Cleary's...
Is that certain?
Cleary's listed as playing. Apparently, he is being monitored throughout the week for concussion and may not play.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he played, I'll be honest with you.
Yep. So you'd expect Tyrone May to come into the starting team. And this young fellow who no one's ever heard of, Matt Burton.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where he's come from.
What? Imagine if somebody offered him a contract and he'd gone. Wow. That's why you keep your players, people.
By the way, you made a mess of my bench over there. What are you doing?
I did. Can you see the mess that I made?
No, you can't.
Oh, good.
Put Jake back on his feet.
Actually,
Jake's still suffering from concussion.
give me that other thing, that book there. I'm going to talk about that in 1 second.
Oh,
really?
my goodness.
Bring it on.
All right. So anyway, gents, the only change for the Storm is the one that is Felice Kafusi, who was unfairly rubbed out for 2 weeks. And the Panthers should win this, I think. And I know that Melbourne don't lose 2 games in a row, but Cameron Smithless, they're going to lose.
It'll be a tight game.
I'm going to declare Melbourne winning this game.
Oh, you're the tiebreaker, Tom.
Look, I think at home, the Panthers will win this. I don't want them to win by much, but I think they'll win.
Okay. Let's go on to Friday night's game. The first one at 6 o'clock is St George Illawarra against the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. Brian, are you seriously suggesting you are going to win this game easily?
No, there is nothing easy for the Seagulls at the moment. But I actually think, yes, they can beat the Dragons.
Oh, well, hang on. They can beat the Dragons and will beat the Dragons are 2 different things.
Right, they will beat the Dragons by smallest of margins. Cherry Evans was 50% better against Souths than he was against the Roosters. Yeah, if he's 50% better again...
Cherry Evans still wasn't very good against Souths.
Oh, look, I don't know. I don't know. Look, it's tough. Like we were saying in the last show, it comes down to depth, and Manly just don't have it. And unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have it in our back row, which has been a strength of Manly for years. And we're down 4 players out of the back row, and Cade Cuss was concussed. And so we don't have another hooker.
Walker's still playing fullback.
Yeah, I got a sneaky feeling that that's just Des playing games now.
Well, you thought that was Des playing games a week ago.
Actually, can I just say... No, Garrick shouldn't... Garrick will not be fullback.
Yeah.
Walker was admirable against Souths. For a centre, playing fullback.
Yeah, look...
who are you going to put at fullback then?
Tavita Whenua.
Right, and he's played there before.
Yeah, he's a fullback. Yeah.
He's in the reserves at the moment, so he's not in the 17.
No, well, I'm kind of thinking that perhaps... and there's even talk of Brad Parker moving into the second row and stuff. There's just stupid stuff. And I just don't know. Anyway, but yes, I'm on Manly, gents. You guys?
I'm splintering. I don't really know for this game.
I'm actually thinking St George, because I think Ben Hunt is actually starting to find a bit of form. And I'm not
But
convinced...
can he play well 2 weeks in a row?
I'm not convinced it's going to last 3 or 4 weeks, but I think it can last 2 weeks in a row. And I think they got a lot of confidence out of what they did last week.
You could also argue that the Seagulls took the Rabbitohs to the edge, and they might go off the back of that with a team that's not the Rabbitohs.
They took them to the edge in the first half. I mean, and then they came out in the second half and
I think I'm going to go the Eagles here.
It was 14-12 late in the second half. We just couldn't...
late in the second half.
We just couldn't contain you. All right. Anyway, so we have a difference of opinion.
Did you say it?
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate
Okay,
that.
let's go to
Short margin.
Stadium Australia on Friday night as well.
Which
where
will be
the mighty Rabbitohs are going to play
Match
Sydney
Around.
Roosters. So
this will be the match.
I have here with me the Book of Feuds. So
Yawn.
I think I should sit here and read
Oh,
the Roosters section in the Book of Feuds. Have you guys got?
Seriously, it's like 4
2
million
hours.
pages long. Honestly, this book is so boring.
And it's going to have a few extra sections in it with
Oh.
Suwali.
Like, it's honestly,
a good
people.
cry.
If you're not a South supporter, you got to get your hands on this book. We came into the comp.
It should be
I read the Manly section a minute ago. When we came into the comp, Manly came into the comp in 1947. Souths had already won their 11 premierships in a row. Like, yeah, big deal. Like,
It's a book of whinges,
dear.
honestly,
It is.
and they've got to prop themselves up because they hadn't
Yeah.
won a premiership in 43 years, and they've won one
Excuse
since.
me,
So,
we've-
you know,
no. Anyway,
From one sense.
let's discuss this game.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to be the only voice of reason because, Steve, you're going to go the Bunnies.
Of course.
Give me the number one reason the Bunnies are going to win.
and he'll say,
Steve, not Tom. You get your chance in a
I
minute.
know why.
Steve?
2 things.
One.
No, well,
Give me your one.
It's
Give me your one.
confidence
Confidence.
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 and confidence from winning 60-8 last
See, there
time.
you go. I knew
Yep.
you mentioned it.
No.
No. That's
Fair.
he's entitled to this. You're going to get your chance, Tom.
Confidence.
Yep. Now, Tom, your number one reason the Roosters are going to beat the Bunnies.
We're better.
Oh, jeez.
Man,
That's a
but
tad
Reeks-
arrogant.
Reeks
So,
is
so,
arrogant.
so hang on. Let me
Come
reframe
on.
that. Confidence. There you go.
Okay.
Saying the
Hang on,
same.
Same.
you can't claim confidence.
saying
You
the
got
same
smashed
thing.
60-8 last time.
Okay.
It's a new
Ladies
season,
and
Stephen.
gentlemen, let me just say this: the two teams at the bottom of the ladder have both played the Roosters and been lapped. One of those teams played Souths and came within a smidge of beating them.
Oh, Smidge of beating him. You got
Thank
done
you,
by
Brian.
14 points.
So allow me to just say, I think the Roosters will win this, and I hate to say this, I think win it comfortably.
Well, we've proven time and time again just how wrong you
No,
are.
I'm not suggesting it's going to be an easy game. I'm just suggesting that the Roosters will put it together, and Souths will be struggling to come back, and the Roosters.
You know why I don't think the Roosters will win?
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Because they don't have a good spine. Sure, they've got a good...
Hang on. They don't have a good spine. James Tedesco, best fullback in the world.
Hang on, we're going to talk about that later.
We've got, all right, Lockie Lamb. Okay, I'll give you that. Luke Keary,
Yeah,
the best informed halfback at the moment,
go.
and
that?
Freddie Lussick. Well, he's a Manly junior,
Okay.
so he's got to be awesome.
So they've got 2 out of 4. So when I say they haven't got the best spine, you've got to realise that I actually know what I'm talking about. They haven't got the best spine.
Please.
It will hurt them. And
I'll
that's why I think they will lose. But you know what?
You know what? I can say. I'll tell you this. All right, let's go to the interchange bench. This is where the rubber hits the road. Because when things are going wrong, you've got to
we've
be.
talked about this game too long already.
You've got to no. Well, this is the thing. You've got to be able to put your players on. South, Benji Marshall,
Yep.
big
Excellent.
tick.
Yep.
Mark Nichols,
Not a
plotter.
bad
He's
point.
a plotter.
Patrick Mago,
Yeah, he's pretty good.
plotter. Jai Arrow. All right.
State of origin.
So you know what? Your bench is 2 and 2, but they've got Victor Radley, Roy Hargraves, Nat Butcher, and who? Daniel Fafita.
Yeah.
Okay, so Daniel Fafita's a nobody.
Yep. Victor
Yeah.
Radley, Roy Hargraves,
yeah.
Nat Butcher.
Nat Butcher's a nobody.
They've-
Oh, he's not.
he
The premiership
barely-
winner.
Excuse me.
He's a premiership
Off
winner.
the bench is a premiership winner.
They've got him on the interchange
Look,
bench.
I'll make one
when we're
concession.
talking next week, then you can...
Let me make one concession in regards to this game, and that is when the Rabbitohs play the Roosters, anything can happen, and so you can't always necessarily go on form. But I still think the Roosters will win.
On
And
form,
let me
they
also-
should win.
Let me also say I will not be sitting watching it with you. Okay.
Right.
Just because I'll be embarrassed. Okay, let's go on to GIO Stadium where the Raiders play the Warriors, gentlemen, at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
This is a tough one, isn't it?
Well, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it should be on paper. The Warriors, the Raiders should be clear winners on this one, but I don't think the Raiders are playing as well as they could.
Yeah, but neither are the Warriors. And
Well,
you
so
know,
it's there for the Warriors to win when they're not expected to.
no, I'm a bit worried that they've brought in young halfback Sean O'Sullivan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wonder where he got to.
He's another former Rooster.
Yes,
Who
and went to the Broncos and he was terrible.
Pinched off someone, went to the Roosters. They sacked him because they only take first line players, and then over to the Bronx, now to the Warriors. Look, he's solid, but you got to give that game to the Raiders, surely.
I think Ricky will have the Raiders up for this one after the way they performed against Cronulla last week, and I think you'll find a win.
So why is Harris Tavita out again? What's he done to himself?
There was an injury.
It's 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Shoulder?
No, I can't remember.
Okay. He's hurt himself.
Yeah, he hurt himself.
That's a good reason to be out.
Suncorp Stadium, where the Broncos play the Dogs, and Brian, you are claiming
game of the round. This one.
Are we picking the Raiders in this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right.
You're claiming Broncos for this, hands down.
I'm saying this is the game of the round.
Excuse me for a second. Well, you two talk amongst yourselves.
Steve's gone. Look, to be perfectly honest, Tom, because I'm talking to you.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think the Dogs have got enough points. I don't think the Dogs have got enough points in to beat anybody. So I'm going Bronx, and they should win this at home against a Bulldogs side that just couldn't get the job done against Penrith. And by get the job done, I mean scoring try.
Well, the other thing against the Broncos is it's not a Friday night game. And they'll be playing in the daytime. And they don't do well in daytime games. Look, if it wasn't at Suncorp, I think I'd give the Dogs a chance. I think it'll be a very uninspiring game, and I think the Broncos will win by a few points.
Look, it's hard. Like Dallin Waltenis and Lesniak's out, and Raymond Fatila-Mariner. Like they're their two best players.
Yeah.
I just can't see the Dogs getting up. Although it would be wonderful for Brisbane to collect another spoon. This could well be the battle for the spoon this early on.
Or the turning point for the Broncos, you think?
No.
No, I'll be leaning Broncos this game.
All right.
I mean, the Dogs have struggled to score tries. They've got a lot of work to do on their attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tom?
Yeah, no, I think that the Broncos by a couple.
Excellent.
Bankwest Stadium, where Parramatta Eels are up against the Sharks.
Eels have to prove that last week wasn't a fluke. And it's probably going to be important to their season that they actually carry on with it.
Jeez, I hate Parramatta.
We know that.
You've said that once or twice in your life.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard to like them. It really is.
I know. Yeah.
But I think that they should win this game.
Yes. Yeah. Eels should win.
It always leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I pick the Eels. You hear that, Janelle?
I'm leaning Eels.
Right.
All right, McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Newcastle Knights are playing the West Tigers. I'm going to declare here, gentlemen, the Tigers winning this game.
Wow.
I'm going to declare that you got rocks in your head.
Yeah,
no one in
right.
Sports South.
I think that's correct.
I think the Tigers are going to win this. I think they're odds on.
I think the Tigers are going to win very few games this season, unfortunately, and this is not going to be one of them.
I don't understand. Like, on paper, that Tigers team is good.
It's ill-disciplined.
Yep.
And a bit lazy.
Yep.
And I think he's going to make some changes.
Well, look at Brooks' kicking game in his 150th. His kicking game was awful.
Look, I hate to say it, Brooks gets one. Brooks is like Ash Taylor. If he gets something wrong, everything goes off the rails.
Confidence.
But overall, that team, Dane Laurie, decent player, young.
He had a really good game.
Nofaluma, pretty damn good
When he
winger.
can get the ball.
Tommy Talau, not so bad, but he's just in there because Leilua got dropped.
Luke Garner.
James Roberts, Adam Dewey, like there's good players in that team.
And that's why I think they're going to come good.
I don't see it.
Yeah, Knights, I think, comfortably.
Yep.
All right. Then on Sunday night, the last game at 6:15 is North Queensland against the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah, I'd have to think the Titans will win this one.
Yeah, look, I keep thinking the Cowboys have got to come good. So for 2 weeks in a row, I've expected more. And I'm going to pick the Titans.
Yeah.
I want to pick the Cowboys at home, but they couldn't nail the Dragons last week.
I mean,
just can't see it.
I think Morgan's not playing well. Holmes is not playing well. Tabuai Fido is sort of almost disappeared.
Yep.
And they're full of old players. You know, Maguire, Felt. They've got a lot of old players, and then anybody who's young is quite inexperienced.
Can I ask very quickly, gentlemen? I know we're going to run out of time, but Cole Felt's tackles last week front on.
Yep.
Should have been a penalty or not? I mean, they were good, solid tackles. They went beyond the horizontal just.
Yeah. I mean, they look like good hits, but he got whoever it was in a really awkward position, landed on his neck.
Yeah, but they're front on. I'm not sure what else he can do.
Yeah, it's a bit like Kafusi trying to get his elbow and everything out of the way.
Come on, that's nothing to do with it. That's completely different.
I mean, it's exactly the same. Yeah. When if you play good hard football, sometimes things go awry.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have been. And he's been suspended for that, and he shouldn't have been. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Okay, so we didn't do the ladder on the show earlier in the week. So who would like to do the ladder from?
Oh, allow me, because Tom takes forever. We have 5 teams unbeaten with 2 wins: Roosters, Panthers, Raiders, Knights, Eels. We then have a bunch of teams that have 1 and 1, and in for and against, that's the Sharks in 6th, Warriors, Rabbits, that's your 8, Storm, Titans, Dragons, that's it. And we have, unfortunately, some teams on nil wins. Eagles, Broncos, Cowboys.
Excuse me, the other way around, thanks.
Oh, sorry, yeah. 4 points for and against, yeah. Broncos, Cowboys, Bulldogs, West Tigers.
And
the Eagles. Hey, look, it's an embarrassing.
Turnarounds this week. So
the footy tipping competition that we have running, Brighton 75 is leading with 30 points.
He had that perfect round, didn't he?
Yeah. Keenaz 28, St. Lee 20, 24, St. Mick 24, and Stormy May on 22.
I'm 22 as well.
With Amigo Panthero, Joel Manly Man, McManly. And then you and I are taking up the rear.
Yes.
Correct.
I've virtually given up on
Okay, Brian, I have a question for you before we go.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Tom made the statement earlier in the week.
Yep.
Brave statement that Brett Morris is the best winger.
I didn't say that.
You did.
I was talking about Tedesco.
No, you said Brett Morris is the best winger going.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, yes. In the modern era, I think so.
In the modern era.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
I think Brett Morris was better 2 years ago when he was at the Dogs. And the simple fact of the matter is, if you are even... And I'm not saying Josh Morris is bad or not adequate or not good or wouldn't be in first grade at most clubs or all clubs, but that Roosters backline makes him look beyond exceptional. And it's because he gets good early ball and they get the ball to him and they just expect him to do his job. You know, I would say that if you had a guy, so we were talking about David Nofaluma a minute ago from the Tigers, I would suggest that if you put David Nofaluma on that wing, he would be just as good or better than Morris. I would suggest that if you put someone like even go that young fella from Manly, that Jason Saab, he would look exceptional. I'm just saying that it's yes, I'm not denigrating his talent or his ability, but my goodness, that is a pretty hot team.
So you focused on mainly his try scoring ability, but if you look at the 2019 grand final, he saved 2 or 3 tries, disarming bombs. His defence in that, he was virtually Clive Churchill medalist in that game, I thought. His work off the ball is almost, if not better than his work on the ball, and not too many of those wingers that you mentioned are that good off the ball. And I guess I was making the claim too about the length of his career, consistency over 10, 12, 14 years, wherever it is. Now, you could argue that Addo Carr is a much better winger at the present time. But if you look at, and Addo Carr hasn't enough years to generate that, but I think at the moment still, when I look back over the last 20 years, I think Brett Morris has been the best.
I think what Brett Morris has done that's smart is that as he started to get stale at clubs, he's moved. And I think that for some players, that's terrible. So Daniel Tupou, I think if he went to any other team, he would be out of place. It wouldn't be his team, and I don't know whether he would cope. Josh Morris, when things tend to get a little bit... When he gets tied up, he's moved clubs and looks like a genius.
Well, he was.
And his brother follows him.
He wasted so many years at the Dogs. He and Brett.
He was exceptional.
Oh, they were great. They were fantastic. But it was in a team that was never going to kick on.
Yeah, but in saying that, he was very, very good at the Dogs.
There's no doubt. But he would have been so much better had he been at the Roosters. Say,
Because overall, the team's better.
Another quick question before we go.
Oh, yeah.
Will Walters survive the Broncos?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of goodwill related to Walters, and they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt this season, I reckon.
This season?
This
Yeah,
season.
I actually agree with Tom. I think that at the moment they're seeing the mistakes made over the previous 2 years, and I think they will give him the latitude that no matter what happens this year, providing it's not a wooden spoon, I think if he finishes dead stone motherless last, he could be in trouble. But if he finishes even in the bottom 4, I think that they will show him grace.
I reckon, even though they've been getting beaten soundly, there have been little patches in their play which have given me some sense that he's making some inroads, very, very slowly. And I think this year they're not expecting much, as you said.
Yeah.
Bottom 4 probably to be expected, but if they can stay off the bottom, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Then they've got to look at their man management. They've got to get rid of Milford,
Which
they've got to
they've
get
already
rid of a
said.
lot of their players.
I actually heard an interesting comment during the week that Brisbane have all these signed all these players with massive options in the players' favour. Matt Lodge, 4-year deal, 2-year deal, 2-year player option.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy.
They can't get rid of them.
No.
So yeah, anyway.
So because it's interesting, they got the Dogs this week, they got Melbourne the week after, they got South the week after that.
Yeah.
They could be none for 5.
Realistically, if they do not beat the Dogs, they will be none for 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't see them beating Souths or Melbourne.
Are you going to be done for 5?
Yes.
No, we're going to beat the... No. We're going to beat the Dragons this week.
Yes.
Then we've got the Panthers, and we're going to be such a high after beating the Dragons.
All right. That brings us to the end of our show. Brian, you got anything intelligent you want to end with? Because that wasn't.
Yeah, that first win of the season coming up. Go, baby! Go, you Eagles! Right.
Tom, anything you want to end with?
Should be a blockbuster this Friday. No, I can't wait for it.
It's going to be a good game.
Yes.
Very good game.
Yes.
Thank you
As
for
they always are.
Thank you for watching. This is NRL from the Sidelines, and we'll do it all again next week.
See ya.
See ya.